Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I've got 4 brand new colours from the House of Love collection that Madam Glam have come out for February, and these are beautiful. So they've come out with 8 beautiful shades. I have 4 today to show you guys. So we've got a bit of a mixture of some pinks and pale pinks and kind of reddy purpley kind of shades. So I'm going to start off with Love Energy here, which is a very, very pretty pink. I've already swatched them off camera, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the swatches, and that's because we're actually going to be able to use all of them in today's video in the design I'm going to do. So here we've got a more kind of reddy undertone shade. This one's called the Chaser, but this one isn't your standard red. It's got a really, really nice kind of maybe orangey undertone, would you say pinky? I'm not quite sure, but it's beautiful, and I'm sure this one's going to be a massive hit for the summer as well. It's just got those tones, it's just screaming summer to me. This one here is a very, very beautiful purpley shade, so I just love this one. I have to say, this one's called Synergy, I think, and this one is just gorgeous. Look at it, oh my gosh, so pretty, so pretty. And then the last one there, it's a very nice pale pinky kind of shade. It's going to be perfect for background colors, which is exactly how I used it in today's video. And as you can see with the little stickers as well, they've got beautiful little images on there, which I think is so cute and unique to the other collections. And this one's called Moonchild. So with their collection, this one here, so 2 of them actually are sparkly and the rest of them are just a standard color, cream color that they do. So with our beautiful nail art design today, we're going to start off with applying our base colour. So I'm going to start off with Moonchild as our base colour for, looks like we're going to do it for 2 nails. We're going to use the dusty pink shade for one of those nails. We're going to use the purple shade for another nail. And then the very, very last nail is going to be an ombre, which I'm going to try and achieve with a brush. So that's been quite something new for me. I've been trying to do ombres with brushes recently. There's been some occasions where it worked perfectly. There's some occasions where it wasn't the best. The sponge method would probably work so much better, but I'm really giving it a go because I feel like doing it with the sponge method can be quite expensive if you think about it, because you do have to constantly buy new sponges, and as well, since I don't really do nails with acrylic, I am having to still invest in clear acrylic to achieve my ombre look using the sponge method. So I thought, why not sometimes just give it a go with the brush and see how it goes. So we're going to do a 3-way ombre today. We're going in with the Moonchild, that beautiful dusty pink there, and then that purple shade at the bottom. I was considering using the reddy shade at the bottom, but I am so much more happier that I did end up using the purple shade, just because it does tie in quite nicely with the other nail that we've got going on in the background that we're going to sugar later. And I had the perfect glitter to use today. It was so perfect and matched up with that shade so well, so that's going to be just a little bit later in the video. So here's my brush. I'm actually using a Madam Glam ombre brush, so I'll have everything that I linked in the description today from today's video. And also, if you wanted to save yourself some money, do make sure to use my discount code. It'll be in the description to save yourself a whopping 30% off your order. They're literally amazing, so you'll see in today's video how well they perform. Even an ombre, ombreing 3 colours is quite difficult, and I've got like no experience with the brush, and you'll see how well they just kind of work together to create the ombre, so that's great to see. So I'm just going up and down. Oh, no, I always say up and down. It's side to side, just keep going side to side. Firstly, I kind of focus on the 2 colours at the top and try and as much as possible ombre them. Then I wipe my brush, focus on the bottom 2 colours, and then I try to kind of do an ombre where I'm going side to side, right from the top right to the bottom. I'm not taking my brush off the nail, I'm not wiping it in between, I'm just kind of trying to really mix those 3 colours in together. So once you're happy, you want to pop it into the lamp. I will do the second layer of camera with the rest of them as well. So this nail here has got 2 layers, and here's the glitter. It's so beautiful, love it. I really, really like it. I haven't been able to use it recently. I don't really or at least I haven't been picking up this purpley shade. I have something somewhat similar. It's not exactly this kind of shade in my collection, but similar enough where I could still utilize this glitter, but I just haven't been picking up those shades recently. But I'm really happy I have. I just love the sparkle these sugared nails give you. It's just so beautiful. So you want to pop it into the lamp. Those are all out, and we can start working on with our nail design. So we've got quite a heavy marble design today, and since we're doing 2 almost full covered marble nails, I thought I'm going to need so much gel polish on my plate to create that marble that I'm not going to have enough, but it ended up being that I only used half of it. So make sure you don't do what I've just done, and don't waste your polishes like I have. So you want to place all 3 of those shades onto your palette, and then using a dotting tool you can swirl it into one another to create that kind of marble effect already on your plate. And then, utilising that ombre brush again, I like to scoop it up and then place it onto the nail. So here's my little dotting tool. I'm going to do little swirlies, almost like you're trying to draw an S all the way through. And then we are going to use our ombre brush, and we're going to apply this marble on both of our Moonchild nails, the pale pinky shade. So for this nail that I'm starting off with is actually going to be a full cover marble. And these marbles are so fun. You don't have to do it this specific way. I know that there's actually a variety of ways to do a marble. You could actually go in with, for example, your base shade being this Moonchild, and then just using a nail art brush, like a long nail art detail brush, you can just kind of pick up each shade individually and swipe it into the gel and kind of create a marble that way. So there's all sorts of different ways. This is my most preferred way, just because I can really get a nice mix of those colours together, and it just kind of creates a slightly different look compared to the other method I just spoke about. If you watch Talia on YouTube, I've noticed she often does marbles like that, where she will kind of have each shade individually placed on her palette, and then she'll just dip into each shade and just kind of swirl it into the nail until she gets the desired marble. So maybe that might be a little technique I might try in the next coming video if I do a marble, to kind of give it a go and see how it goes, because maybe it'll be a nicer, easier way, who knows, or maybe at least I might end up using less less gel polish, so maybe that'll be a better way of doing things. But at the moment, this has been my only way that I've ever done it. So since you're placing so much polish down, I do like to use a little lint-free wipe and just tap the sides to get rid of any excess, because you don't want any wrinkling under the lamp or any of that good stuff. Once you're happy, pop it in the back just to chill, and then we can crack on with the other nail, which is going to be slightly more difficult. So what I'm going to try and do is actually create a marble French tip. So you kind of have to imagine where the French tip is and kind of go from there. So I'm starting off at the bottom, because of course I know the whole bottom part of the nail is going to be covered. And then the higher I'm getting, I'm trying to kind of draw out that, I think it's called a C-curve, where the French will be. So there you go. I'm kind of trying to draw where it would be, and then focus where I've kind of drawn it. So I'm going to focus down the bottom. And then later on, if you wanted to touch up your lines that you've created at the top there, you can use, I'll actually show you, I'm going to use I think it was an application brush from Madam Glam as well. I've dipped it into some nail prep cleaner, and I'm just going to wipe away and kind of get rid of any excess that I don't want there, and just kind of neaten up the line. And if any moment you get rid of too much, you can always add in, so you can actually go in with a nail art brush, a thin detail liner brush, and add in the gel polish in there as well if you wanted to. So there's my little blue liquid. I love it so much. It's like my most favourite liquid ever to use. So I'm going to dab it into there. I was kind of cleaning my brush a little bit, and then getting just a little bit. You don't want too much, so I do end up, every time I dip into that blue liquid, I do tap it on the side to get rid of any of the excess, because otherwise the brush will be swimming on that nail. And as you can see here, you just kind of have to swipe and remove the gel. I know that some people, I think I've watched a video on YouTube before where a lady was actually using a brush like this always to do her French tips, so that was quite interesting to see. And here is a little flower that I've actually made myself. So it's been a long while since I've made my own nail decals, but I made this one ages ago, so I thought I'll kind of put it into this design. I don't know, I was getting really kind of pinky floral vibes. I really wanted it to be like cutesy, so I thought why not use it. So whilst I'm dabbing it onto my clear jelly stamper there, I'm going to add some water on there and just let it chill whilst we work on another nail. So this nail I'm using the blue liquid to clean it, because we're going to use a striping tape, and I just find that it sticks so much better to a nail that's just been wiped before it just kind of slides around, because you know the gel polish leaves a tacky layer, and it seems like the striping tape just does not like it. So I've got the striping tape there, so it's kind of like this purpley shade. Often when you apply a matte top coat, it kind of changes colours, so you have to watch out. You have to really watch out. There's a video that will be coming up at some point in February where I used the kind of like I think it was like a a brighter purpley shade, and after applying a matte top coat it went neon pink. So that was quite interesting. Luckily it still fitted in with the whole nail vibe that I was going for, but boy, if it was to change to a different kind of colour where it wouldn't fit, that would be super annoying. So we've let the other nail just chill in the background whilst we are working on the last nail now before we can start applying our top coat. So now that the backing came off the little nail decal, I'm going in with some white stamping polish. You can use white gel polish if you wanted to and then cure it under the lamp, but I'm going with stamping polish. I just found that it would just be quicker and probably maybe even easier. Who knows? I've never used gel polish before actually, so I just kind of picked up something that I'm just a bit more comfortable with using on my stamper there. So I'm just colouring it in with white, and that's because the image itself is kind of clear, so it will work the best with a white background, and I really didn't want to do a white nail in today's set. It just would not match with anything that I was doing, so the best way around it is just to colour the back with some white, either gel polish or stamping polish, whatever works best for you. And here I was trying to show you how half of the image you can see so much better now and how half of it you can't, so it's such a cool little trick there. There are places where you can get nail decals that are actually kind of got already the magical white backing, so you can place on any colour background you want. I think there's an account called the Decal Queen. I think I've come across that in a description of her decals. It says that you can literally place on any colour. I have placed an order, which I'm so excited about, and I can't wait for them to come, so I'll do a haul and then we can do some nails around those little decals and everything. So I'm really, really excited to see how they work and everything, and also compare them to the ones I make, because, you know, I've just kind of DIY'd my own, so it's quite interesting to see kind of like a professional way of like how do they look, how do they perform compared to the ones I make at home for myself. So I've stamped it down where I wanted it, so I've decided to stamp it right in the centre of our ombre nail. And here I'm just getting rid of any fluffs that I had kind of chilling on my little stamper that I decided to transfer onto the nail. Now I'm going to just place them all back onto my little metal nail filer piece, I guess. And then I'm going in with a matte top coat. Of course it's going to be matte, so I'm just going to apply on all of those nails, excluding the glitter nail, of course. Once that goes into the lamp, we can start applying our crystals, and we have a little charm to place today. So usually when I like to do the striping tape nails, the one in the middle we've got there, I love to kind of place crystals right in the centre of the nail, following where we've just placed the striping tape. So that's kind of the vibe we're going today for. And I've got these very, very beautiful, they're kind of like purpley pink shade crystals, and I was like, oh my goodness, it works so well with today's set. I do feel like other colours would work quite well too, even like a dusty pink shade of crystal, or maybe just a clear, or even an AB. AB seem to always work, and so do clear crystals, but I haven't used those purple ones ever, I don't think, or maybe it's been a very long time, so I really thought that it's my opportunity to get going with those and incorporate them into the set. We'll be only using 2 sizes, and that's because I actually only have 2 sizes. So we've got a semi-large one and then a fairly small one, so we may do with what we had basically. So here are the matte nails there, so here's the crystals. How beautiful are they? There's the charm as well, and here are the smaller ones. So they are slightly different shades of colour. So the large crystals that we've got there came from Shein actually, and the smaller ones came from AliExpress. But when you kind of place them together onto the nail, you could not see that they're different shades, so I could get away with using them. So for this French tip nail, we're going to place the crystals right in the centre there. We're going to place a large one in the centre and then 2 small ones on either side of that. And then there we go. You literally cannot tell they're different. Just so cool, so cool. So that's that. And then off camera, I will be applying caviar beads to all of those crystal nails that we're working on. And the caviar bead placement is just the standard in between the crystals wherever you can, really. So here I'm going to place the pink bow, and then I will go ahead and cure it just because the rhinestone glue gel isn't that strong, this one, so it will start wobbling around, and I needed to place crystals on both sides of that, so I wanted to make sure it stays in place. So now that it's cured, I'm going to place one large pinky crystal on both sides of that, and then one more of that smaller crystal next to the larger one on both sides. There we go. Then that will go in the lamp later on. And lastly, we've got this nail to work on, and for this one I thought I'll place crystals top left hand side, and we're also going to place some crystals bottom right hand side. Yeah. And same thing, everything will have caviar beads applied. So if you wanted to if you're confused on the caviar bead placement and you really wanted to see where it is, make sure you pause the video right at the end where I kind of show you guys the official final results of how it's all looking. And that way you can just kind of instantly see exactly where I've placed it all and how it come to be. So I'm going to place 2 3 large crystals at the top, then 1 large at the bottom. Of course, we're going to hug that big one at the bottom with 2 smaller crystals, and we're also going to place 2 small crystals at the top as well. Right there. Then make sure you pop it into the lamp, and here are the final results. Hope you guys liked it. Please don't forget to check the links in the description, and do not forget to use my discount code to save yourself 30% when shopping with Madam Glam. So yeah, I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would absolutely love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys!